What an electrifying and unpredictable night it was on WWE SmackDown as the tension within the Samoan dynasty reached a whole new level. The ongoing bloodline war that fans thought might finally be cooling down has just reignited with the thunderous return of Solo Sikoa. The entire WWE universe felt the shockwave the moment his music hit, signaling that the silent enforcer of the family was back, and he had only one target in mind: Jacob Fatu. Backstage, the atmosphere was chaotic and heated, filled with the echoes of rivalry, pride, and betrayal that have defined the Samoan legacy for generations. Jacob Fatu was seen walking through the corridors of the arena, exuding arrogance and confidence, boasting to anyone who would listen about his unmatched dominance on SmackDown. For weeks, he had been making bold statements, taking down every opponent that dared to cross him, and asserting himself as the new face of the bloodline. But in the world of WWE, no kingdom stands unchallenged for long. Just when it seemed that Fatu's reign of dominance was going unchecked, the unexpected sound of Solo Sikoa's entrance theme tore through the arena like a thunderclap. The crowd erupted in disbelief and excitement as Solo stepped back into the spotlight for the first time in months. There was no hesitation in his walk, no uncertainty in his expression. His eyes were laser-focused, his posture unshaken. It was clear from the first glance that he had returned for one purpose: to settle a score that had been boiling beneath the surface. As Solo made his way down the hallway toward Jacob Fatu, the tension could be felt even through the television screens. The air was thick with anticipation as Fatu's smirk slowly faded. What had begun as a night of celebration for him quickly turned into one of confrontation. Solo stopped just inches away from Fatu, the silence between them more powerful than any words. The two cousins locked eyes, and the energy around them was palpable. This wasn't just about competition, it was about family, heritage, and who truly carried the spirit of their Samoan bloodline. Before either man could make a move, security and WWE officials swarmed in, forming a barrier between the two powerhouses. The chaos that followed was absolute. Shouts echoed as both men tried to break free from the officials' grasp. Fatu taunted from behind the wall of security, shouting insults that only fueled Solo's anger. But Solo wasn't backing down. He kept pushing forward, eyes never leaving his cousin's face. Then, in a moment that sent chills through the arena, Solo finally spoke. His voice was calm, yet filled with fury as he said, "You crossed the line, cousin." That single sentence carried the weight of generations. It wasn't just a warning, it was a declaration. The bloodline war wasn't over. It had only just begun again. The message was crystal clear. Solo Sikoa had returned not just to fight, but to restore what he believed had been tainted. The crowd roared with mixed emotions, some cheering for the returning enforcer, others rallying behind the powerhouse that is Jacob Fatu. The visual of the two men being held apart while staring daggers into each other became an instant classic moment that fans would talk about for weeks to come. The segment ended in pandemonium, but the story it told was far from finished. In that brief yet powerful confrontation, the entire narrative of SmackDown shifted. For months, the bloodline had been splintered and unstable. Roman Reigns' absence left a void that everyone from Jimmy Uso to Jacob Fatu had tried to fill in their own way. Fatu, with his sheer strength and raw charisma, believed he was the rightful heir to the throne. But Solo Sikoa's return changes everything. Known as the Street Champion and the Enforcer, Solo had always been the silent storm of the family, a man who let his actions speak louder than words. His loyalty to the bloodline and to Roman Reigns had once been unquestioned, but after months away, it's clear that Solo has returned with his own vision of dominance. Now, with Jacob Fatu standing tall as the self-proclaimed alpha of the Island Dynasty, the question that looms large is, who truly represents the spirit of the Samoan heritage? The tension between them is more than just personal, it's generational. Both men carry the pride of their family name, the legacy of warriors who have battled for respect inside and outside the ring. And now, that legacy has reached a breaking point. Backstage officials could barely keep control of the situation as both men continued to shout and struggle to break free. Even after they were pulled apart, their eyes stayed locked in a deadly stare, promising that this confrontation was far from the last. Fans watching around the world could feel the electricity of that moment, two dominant forces of the same bloodline, driven by pride and a desire to be recognized as the true leader of their family's legacy. Solo's return marks the beginning of a new chapter in the ongoing bloodline saga. Every time this family seems to find unity, pride and power tear them apart again. But this feud feels different. There's no Roman Reigns to control the chaos, no peacemaker to restore order. This is a war between equals, two warriors who refuse to bow down. The WWE Universe can sense that something massive is coming. Will Solo Sikoa reclaim the dominance he once held and remind everyone why he was the most feared member of the bloodline? Or will Jacob Fatu prove that the future belongs to him, that he is not just a relative, but the rightful successor to the Samoan throne? Either way, SmackDown has just become the battlefield for one of the most intense family rivalries in WWE history. The story isn't just about power, it's about legacy, pride, and the unbreakable yet fragile bonds of family. As the dust settles on this shocking night, fans are left buzzing with speculation. What will happen next week? Will Solo and Fatu finally collide in the ring, or will WWE officials manage to keep them apart a little longer? One thing is certain. The Bloodline saga has been reignited in ways no one expected, and it's only going to get more explosive from here. The silence that followed the chaos backstage was almost deafening. Everyone, from the commentators to the crew, knew they had just witnessed the rebirth of one of WWE's most powerful rivalries. This isn't just about winning matches anymore. It's about identity, about which member of this storied family truly deserves to stand on top. Solo's cold, menacing presence and Fatu's fiery intensity are two sides of the same coin. They're both products of the same legacy, but driven by very different visions of what that legacy should be. As the cameras faded to black, the WWE Universe was left hanging on the edge of anticipation, knowing this war is only getting started. Solo's message was short but unforgettable. "You crossed the line, cousin." Those words will echo through every arena, every promo, and every confrontation until one man finally stands victorious. The bloodline may share blood, but in WWE, blood isn't thicker than ambition. The Samoan War continues, and this time, it's personal. For Solo Sikoa, this return isn't just a comeback, it's a statement that the Enforcer of the Island Dynasty is still a force to be reckoned with. For Jacob Fatu, it's a challenge to his